Hello, everyone. Welcome to our May Training Tuesday for OU Campus. Today's topic is OU Campus v11 overview. During the presentation, all participants will be in a listen-only mode as this session is being recorded. If you have a question during the presentation, please use the Q&A function found at the bottom of your screen. We will attempt to answer your questions throughout the presentation, but if there are any remaining questions we cannot answer during this webcast, we will provide an answer via email. Your presenter today is Paul Bourne, software trainer. Paul? It's all yours. Hey, Paul, I think you're muted right now.
You're right, I was muted.
Welcome, Paul.
Welcome, thank you so much. So we will be going over several different things today. We will have some general information about v11. We'll talk about and look at the dashboard, the page list view, editable pages, a little bit of changes there. WYSIWYG editor has been updated. We'll talk about gadgets, our reports, the reusable content. When we're referring to that, it's our snippets, assets, and components, and many more things. So some of the general information about v11. v11 has really been designed for screen sizes as small as a portrait-oriented tablet, so it gives you that flexibility. You'll notice that the use of 3 dots or an ellipsis, and this is going to be our More Actions menu. Where you'll primarily see this will be on the right side of the screen. So we'll go ahead and point those out to you on the different screens where we have this More Actions menu. Screens have been updated for accessibility purposes and are keyboard navigable. So if you're a person that does like to work off the keyboard a little bit more than grabbing the mouse, we do have some things where you can now navigate around the pages using that. The menus open on click rather than hover over. So rather than hovering over something and accidentally bringing something open, it's like, oops, and we did that. Well, we actually have it on click now, so it'll reduce accidental opening there. The quick link to the root directory is still the house icon, so there are a lot of things that are still the same within OU Campus that you'll see. The level administrator, the level 10 administrator setup menu is now on the left center of the screen. So we've pulled that into the center of the screen from being on the far right-hand side there. Version 10 will remain up for 6 months after launch. And currently the launch is they're targeting sometime in July. It's not a fixed date yet, but that is kind of what they're looking at right now, is targeting July here when that goes live. And level 10 administrators can opt in and test out v11 version before activating it for your school. So this way here, you can test it out. You can go ahead and update any existing documentation that you have. Anything like that can be done before you actually release it to the rest of your campus there. So with that, let's go ahead and take a look here. So let me switch my screen over. So here I am on my login screen. The direct access links will still work exactly the same. I don't have any currently set up for my current training. This is still in a test environment, so we are coming directly into the login screen. I'll go ahead and log in here. This will go ahead and bring us to our dashboard. So we can see it does have a new look here. We do have a recently visited section, which is new to this, so you can easily go back to different pages. If something you were working on earlier in the day and it's like, now exactly where was that? You can come into your recently visited section here. You do have your picture. If you're using the tool here, you can go into your picture here. Underneath it, we do have 3 icons here. Directly, we got a question here. Can you log in both SSO and directly now? Will the login pages just have a link to SSO? Not as that I've heard anything. I think SSO and direct edit links will still be separate in the current way that it is right now. As we come up here to the top left-hand corner, we do have news, or I mean your inbox. Within your inbox here, this is something that's been there, something that you might not recognize. I've talked to some people and they don't realize that they actually can compose messages here. So if I come into my mailbox here, I do have compose and I can select who do I want this to go to. So maybe I want an email to go out to everyone. Maybe there's some maintenance coming up on the system. I want to send it out. I can send it to specific departments if I wanted to, by groups. I can also select individual people. So when I go ahead and come down here, I do also have the option to send external email as well, to go to the regular campus email. So it is a good way to go ahead and stay in contact with your users, with your editors. So if you are making a change maybe to a group, enhancing it, giving them some more flexibility, updating something for them, you can easily come in here and create an email that can go out to them. I'm going to go ahead and cancel here. We do have workflow under here as well. So we can get to workflow a couple of different ways. One is from the dashboard here. We do have workflow that we can go to. It brings us back to the same page where we can see our workflow items. So we can see those. The other thing that we have on here under my dashboard here is when it comes in here, we also have a little cog, a little gear icon. This is to configure your gadgets. So within your gadgets here, these are the gadgets just for your desktop. So if I come in here and realize I want to go ahead and add additional bookmarks, my bookmarks gadget, I can go ahead and select it here and go ahead and click on save. The question came up, are groups available to anyone or just admins? I actually don't know. I will have to look into that.
Hey, Paul, I can jump in on that one.
Can you? That'd be great, Barbara.
The default behavior right now in OU Campus is groups are going to be accessible by lower level users for groups that they are a part of. So if I'm a part of the athletics group, I could then send things to the athletics group.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So as we move on here, we do have our gear, and again, that's just for your gadgets here. Gadgets are working the same way where you can go ahead and relocate them and move them around as you would like on your page here to make them best for you. So you can still drag and drop them. And then for the activity gadget here, it's changed its look a little bit. Now we actually have a vertical listing of what's gone on with it with our dates on the left-hand side here. So it gives you an idea that you can go back as far as you need to within your activity gadget here. So again, this can be something that's added to your dashboard here. As we move into some different pages here, across the top here, we do have our dashboard, content, reports, add-ons, and we can see here we're set up for our level 10 administrators is now listed up here kind of in the middle. If we come in here and I want to go to a specific page to get to our page list view, we can still use content pages here. I'm actually going to go into our faculty section here and into our accounting section. So some of the new things that we do have over here on the right-hand side, we do have our unpublished changes and unpublished. So if you have a page where changes have been made to the page, but it hasn't been published out, you will see a flag here saying unpublished changes. And then we also have here, if it's unpublished altogether, so this was a new page that has never been published out, we can go ahead and quickly see where those pages are. So it makes it very easy to see those. When it comes to the access setting, you used to be able to come up here and click on the name of the item that you're in. Now it's actually, we have a little key here. So this will actually take in to your access settings. So we actually have a little key there. And when you hover over it, it does tell you that it will be for the current folder access settings there. The new button is now a blue plus new button here. Staging and production is now a drop-down. So we do have staging and production still on the screen here, but it is a drop-down rather than side by side there. Your edit, review, publish different things. If you come in here, and I'm going to come down here to this P1 here, we do have our more actions that I mentioned. When I go ahead and click on that, it takes our horizontal 3 dots, makes them vertical here, and now is where I do have my edit, my review items, my publish options, and then my file options such as rename, move, copy, and move to recycle bin. So this will be seen throughout the system is where you have these 3 dots, the ellipsis on the right-hand side for your more actions. So we can see it here. We'll also see it in other locations as well. As we move on here, if I go into a page, I'm going to go ahead. We got a message here. Let me go ahead and move something out of the way here. And nice to see those flags, unpublished and unpublished changes. Can you configure the site published to avoid publishing pages with either of those flags? I don't know. Barbara, do you know if you can skip these certain flags when
I
you
don't
are
think that
doing a
idea
site
has been
publish?
brought up yet, but that is an awesome idea. I'm going to make a note and bring it up to our dev team. I do not anticipate it to be something that would be included for the initial v11 release, but I like that idea.
Yeah,
so I'll make a note
cool.
to be able to hand it off to our dev team. That's a nice one.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Another question came in here. Do the options stay open after log off? No, when you go ahead and log off, these options will actually automatically close when you do log off there. If we do go into a page here, I'm going to go up and pull the P1 page here. We can see the page looks very similar. We do have this area across the top here. We have our back to pages, our name of the file that we're on. Over here on the upper right-hand side, we do have toggle focus mode. So maybe I don't need all that information on top. I can go ahead and close that. So it just goes ahead and toggles that a little bit smaller there. We've got a question here. Will unpublished changes and unpublished be fields in the report section? Would be nice to run a report for all unpublished pages. You can actually, Barbara, you can do that now, can't you, using the pages report? Am I correct on that?
I think it's the page products report. You can look for pages without a published date. But I think being able to just look for those particular fields would be nice. Again, I don't think it is currently included in the initial release for v11, but again, I'll make another note because again, that would be very nice to see.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. As we can see here, we still have our preview, edit, source, property, and versions across the top here, like we traditionally have. The multi-edit button, if you are on a page that has multi-edit, is up here kind of in the top right-hand side now. So we can go ahead and click on the multi-edit here. When I'm in the multi-edit, I do have the save button up here. We can also see within the multi-edit, we do have our WYSIWYG editor is updated with the new WYSIWYG editor here. And when we do have on this page here, I currently don't have a field for an image, but the image layout has changed just a little bit. It used to be directly at the bottom. Now it's kind of off-centered, off to the right just a little bit. If we come back in here, let me go ahead and save this and come back. We can see that our notifications, multi-edit content saved, is now down in the bottom left-hand corner. So if you had something where you had a save or refresh button, something down here on the bottom right-hand side, we don't have that full banner going across for the whole thing. It just goes ahead and shows it to you down in the bottom here. Let's see, page check. If we did come in here and I did want to go with paychecks or save version, those are also using the More Actions toolbar or the More Actions button up here in the upper right-hand corner. So it doesn't automatically show here on the bar itself, but we do have that where you can go ahead and open that up and go ahead and select your page check or save version here as well. page check has changed a little bit. It's changed in the look here. It still has the same functionality, but the layout's been changed a little bit here. We still have the check to run all checks here if you would like to do that. And then for spelling, links, W3C validity, and then accessibility still works the same. You just go ahead and click on the little icons next to each of these sections here. Let me go ahead and click on done here. As we keep on coming through here, if we do go into a page, so I do have this page checked out, we can see the check-in, checkout button is now in the upper right-hand corner. Still works exactly the same. If it's yellow, it's checked out to you. If it's white, it can be checked out. In this case here, I am going to go ahead and select Edit here on the top left-hand side and go into our main content region. And when I do come into our main content region, we do have our WYSIWYG editor, our toolbar here. Some things have changed on the toolbar. If you've been using the classic toolbar, some things that have been removed are the auto draft, the cleanup messy code, show hide guidelines, invisible elements, and code protect have been removed. So if you're used to this toolbar, and I've been using it, a couple of the icons have changed a little bit. The restore last draft is now what am I thinking of? An arrow coming backwards. So we do have a restore last draft counterclockwise. That's the word that was slipping my mind here. So it is a counterclockwise arrow here that will go ahead and restore last draft. Your find and replace is now a magnifying glass. Anchor, if you're using the anchors, those are now a bookmark looking tag here. And then special characters are now the omega symbol. So we've changed that. And then show blocks of paragraphs here. Show blocks is now a paragraph center, paragraph symbol in a box here. Insert edit video is now insert edit media. So we do have that change. Another thing that's changed is the look when we are insert edit image. So if we come in here, instead of the tabs being along the top here for general and advanced, we now have it on the left-hand side here. For your setting up, what do I want? Constrained proportions. We do have constrained proportions is now a little lock here that will go ahead and constrain proportions for you. If I go ahead and cancel this and come in here and we're doing a new link, insert edit link, instead of this also being tabbed, we have these on the side here. Also open link in, we now have current window or new window. So it's a little bit clearer on which one you're selecting there. If we do come out of here, let me go ahead and close this out here. So we do have a save button up here on the top, or you can still save with the little disk icon on the toolbar. So both of those will do the same for you. Those will go ahead and save that for you. If I do go into versions, we do have our versions tab here. We can see that our versions have changed color just slightly. So now the current version that is published, or our current version on the live site, is actually in a blue highlight. It still says live in front of it. So we do have an additional version here with it. So if I want to go ahead and publish version, I'll go ahead and do publish here. Again, the page check is revised a little bit, but still has the same functionality here. You also have schedule here, so you can go ahead and schedule this as well. For Patricia, who came in a little bit late, yes, it will be. We are recording this, so it will be posted and there will be a message sent out to users when this does get posted there. So if we do come in here and we go ahead and publish this here, we can see our publish in progress is now in the bottom left-hand corner here. So we do have those in there. Can I schedule to different published targets? Barbie, do you know a little bit more about published targets?
Yes, when you do have the multiple published targets, just like how it is in V10, you'll have the drop down to be able to publish to the different locations.
Okay, perfect. And when will this version be live? We're looking at the target date of July for this going live. So they've got some more testing to do, but that's currently what they're looking at right now is going live. When editing HTML, we have another question here from Joe. When editing HTML or include files, will it still come up with the old WYSIWYG editor instead of the Just Edit editor? No, the old classic WYSIWYG editor has been replaced by the new Just Edit editor. From Sean, we've got a question here. Do the publish checks run automatically as before, or do you have to click the button? You actually have these, they will be set up the exact same way that they are right now on your site. So depending on how your administrators have it set up, if they're running automatically, they'll still run automatically for you. Okay, as we move on here, we can see here that that has republished for us. If I go ahead and refresh my screen, we can now see that version 12 is our live one. That is now highlighted in blue there. So we have that here. Again, as we've been going through this top section has been condensed for me. So that is something, this toggle focus mode will go ahead and stay there for us. So that is something that will go ahead and do that. Dale asked a question, can I control elements available on the editor toolbars? If you're saying, can you go ahead and add or remove specific buttons on the toolbar? Yes, you can. So you can actually do that as an administrator. You can go into your admin setup and then go ahead and do those changes. So if I came in here and go to setup here, we do have our toolbars here. Do the components also use the new editor? They do. So we'll also be using the new editor if you're using components there as well. As we come on down here, gadgets are pretty much the same, only a minor change with gadgets. It has a new look here, just a little bit. And then we do have an X rather than the arrow to close it. And then when you go into your gear to go ahead and customize your gadgets, it does come up with a different look and feel. So if you do want to add any gadgets here, we do have a little checkbox up in the upper right-hand corner where you can go ahead and check those gadgets that you want to have here. Go ahead, we have our blue save button down in the bottom right-hand corner, and that will go ahead and add those gadgets for you. Will there be a dark mode option? Barbara, have you heard if they're going to have a dark mode option for this?
It has not been discussed or included in the initial release of v11, but I'll make a note to be able to provide that feedback to our development team.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So gadgets, not really much change. You can still go ahead and move these around into the order that you would like to have those. Reports, same thing, not much of a change, a little minor look and feel as they did for users 9 and 10 administrators. We do have custom reports. They do have icons within the custom reports now. When you go ahead and open up your reports, this does stay open for you on the left-hand side, so you can go ahead and select whatever report that you do want to work with here. If we come back here, and we go into assets. If I come into content and assets here, we can see we still have our assets set up. We do have our check-in status here. The filter here used to be in the upper left-hand side. Our filter is now in the upper right-hand side. You can still go ahead and filter by tags. So you do have your little tag button here. And then you can select what filter you want. So I'm going to go ahead and select featured here. We can see this lets us know we have one filter on, and we can always click on that and see what the feature is, or which filter is being used, which tag is being used. I can then bring in a second one. So if I come back over to my tag here and I go to admission, it goes ahead and filters it down farther. So I can see that I've got two tags being filtered here. I've got the featured and admission. If I say, well, I just want to see my admission ones, I can just go ahead and close the X here for featured, and it will go ahead and show me all the ones that I have for admission there. For making changes, in assets, can you search by DM tag? I don't think that you can. Barbie, do you know if you can search by DM tag?
I'm not sure. Do you want to give it a try and just copy that top DM tag and search for it in the filter?
Sure. Let's go ahead and take one of these here.
No. So
No,
the
it does
filtering
not.
does not work that way.
Yeah.
But
Good
if
question.
anyone ever did need to figure out which asset is a particular DM tag, you could always use the dependency manager info gadget. You want to show them that real quick?
Sure. So if we come over here, we go to our gadgets. We do have the dependency tag gadget, and you can go ahead and paste it in here. So we'll go ahead and paste that, and we'll go ahead and search for it. And that will go ahead and let you know that it's the asset here, and then the name, and then I can go ahead and click on the name, and that will go ahead and take us into that asset right there. I've got a question here from Kathy. I've never been able to search by tag number. Is something wrong, or has this never worked? I'm not familiar with tag numbers.
I think that's the same idea of the dependency tag number.
Got it. Okay. Another question here from Walker. Could you ask the development team if toggle focus mode could give you even more screen room? I understand. It seems like it could give a little more room on the top menu if it was minimized or overlaid, with the button just going to the top corner. Seems like it would help with tiny screen sizes.
I will make that
so
note.
We'll go ahead and do that. And then we've got another question here from Andrew. Do web content assets use the new WYSIWYG, and can the toolbar be customized now? Specifically, can we disable source code on the web content asset? So yes, you can. You actually,
No,
Barbara,
I think,
do you know?
Yeah, that's still the mini WYSIWYG. So
Okay.
there is not a option right now to customize the mini WYSIWYG. So the larger toolbars for your basic page editing, those will be customizable, but the mini WYSIWYG right now is not customizable.
Is not customizable. Okay. Got it. We got that. Okay. As we move on here, we got another one. Please request the ability to edit the minis WYSIWYG. Thank you, Alicia.
I will add it to my list.
I like that. Okay, as we move on here, so those are just some minor things that were changed within assets there. We do have still the check-in, check-out. If somebody has something checked out, you can go ahead and see it there. And then again, this is where we do have our more actions. Let me close my gadgets here. On the far right-hand side, this is where you have your edit. So we can edit the access for it. You do have your review for your asset and log. You do have publish, and you can schedule that. And then you also have your file where if you need to rename or delete an asset here. If we move on just a little bit farther here, we also have our components. Very similar change. The filter here has now moved to the upper right-hand side. So you can go ahead and see that. Would love to see would love to be able to see when somebody checked out a file. That would be nice. Barbara, can you go ahead and make a note of that?
Added to the list.
That would be very nice to have. I like that. So the filter is moved for if we need the preview, different things like that. Again, we do have the more actions button here. We do have preview, file, and launch. So we do have these options for you here. When making changes, the launch button is now in the upper right-hand corner. So when you do go ahead and create a new asset or a new component or are making changes to it, we come in here and open one up here. The launch button is a green launch button up here in the upper right-hand corner. I see we've got some questions. Let me just finish this section here. Still have launch date or never launched. So when you go into your content or your components, if it has here under launched here, it does have the launch date or that it's never been launched. And then just the green has been changed to plus new is now blue here. So no copy for an asset. Let's go back here and just take a peek here.
That depends what type of asset it is.
Ah, okay. That is. Okay, so it looks like for galleries, you can't copy. I would think it's probably the same for forms, but here, as we're going to a source code asset, we do have that copy there.
Can you hover over the club sign up form? So further down on your list, and then take a look at that file actions. I believe you can copy a form. Yeah.
You do have a form. Okay.
Because image galleries, when they are first uploaded or put directly onto the production server, those are locked to the site. The form itself can be copied to other sites, but you need to have the SSM set up on the new site. So that way there's somewhere for those form responses to go. Okay.
Got it. But I do notice here we can copy there, but you don't have the rename or delete from there. So, but also you do have it checked out right now.
Sorry.
Not a problem. Will components be added to custom reports in the new version? I haven't currently heard of any new reports coming out with the new version yet, but that would be something that we can add to our list as a list of options and recommendations that are coming in. As we come in here, we've got a question from Matt. Alongside that component about when it was checked out, it would also be helpful to see if they have made any changes to the page, such as save version with new changes. If they checked it out 2 hours ago and have not saved changes, they're probably not using it. Very good point there. Is there a way to see if dependency scan or dependency revert has been run on a site? If not, this would be useful. I don't know if there is a way to see that. Do you know about that, Barbara?
I believe that there's a notice that goes to the person who ran it to let you know that it has been performed, but I don't think there's a report. So again, I will add that one to our list.
Okay, thank you very much. Question here from Wing. For the Gadget pop-up and file navigator, is there a pin option to keep it open permanently even after relogging in? It would be great to have this. Not that I'm aware of. I don't think they can pin those, but that would be a good suggestion that we can go ahead and bring up. Especially when you do log out, it basically resets everything. I think if we came back to our content and pages here, I think one of the things that does stay open is this the toggle focus mode. I think that that will stay active if you do log out and log back in. That will stay either open or minimized for you there. If we come on down here, as we come back into our listing of things, we do have our snippets here. Within our snippets, again, the filter has been moved over here to the right-hand side. For rename, delete, we do have our more actions here. Again, this is something that's going to be very common throughout the site. So if you're looking for something that used to be on that right-hand side there, it's now possibly moved to the more actions icon here. So we can go ahead and select that there. And then you do have your categories still. So if we come in here and we select snippets, we can see what type of category we have there. And under our more actions here, this is where we have our preview, our edit, and within our snippet here, we can rename or delete that there. So you do have those. Find and replace, there have been a couple of changes. So if we come in here, oh, hold on one second, let me come back. Can we get categories for components like we have for assets? That's a great question. We'll go ahead and take that back for you. And then we've got another question here, one from Daniel. Does the site-wide search replace work with components yet? Barbara, do you know if that's been changed at all?
So I have been tracking that one myself because I am also very interested in that one. Our dev team is just wrapping up work on that piece. I don't have an anticipated release for it yet, but it is high on their list and I continue to poke them for it. So it is coming.
Excellent. Thank you so much. So find and replace, if we did come down here and select find and replace here, some of the things have been moved around just a little bit. So if we do come down here, our find and preview replace, rather than being on the bottom right-hand side, is now on the bottom left-hand side here that we do have. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to go ahead and do a find for Galena here. And I'm going to go ahead and replace with Galena 2020. Which I know won't necessarily work for every page that we're looking at, but I'm just using this as an example. I am going to come down here. We still have, if we can include assets, exclude checked out files. If I wanted to exclude or only use certain extensions, we have it here. For example, here, I am going to just be using our new section, and I'm going to go ahead and preview replace here. When this does come up, this now gives them to our results here in a condensed format. So we're not seeing all the locations that this actually is. We're seeing the pages that it is. From here, I do have an option for expand all details, which will go ahead and expand all the details for us here. When I do have that expanded, we do have close all details, which will go ahead and minimize this. I can also do it on individual pages. So if I wanted to look at this Galena celebrates 80 years, I can come in here. I do have an open details here on the far right side. And then we can see here, rather than giving me all 10 of them, it gives me about 6 at a time. And then I do get a scroll bar here on the side. So I can go ahead and scroll through these different results here. You can still go ahead and export to a CSV folder or a CSV file. The information for preview or replace, the summary information can now be copied. So if you do have maybe a search string, you're using regex, you want to go ahead and keep that, you want to copy and paste it somewhere, you can actually come into what you're working with and go ahead and copy and paste these information. Can we pick and choose replacement on the page? At this time, no, it's still going to do the entire page rather than just different parts of the page there. Do we replace, does the replace partially include component data that is on the page? I don't think it does. Barbara, can you clarify that?
That goes back to the question from before asking about find and replace for component data. As it stands right now, find and replace is not targeting any content that is inside of a component. The dev team is working on that right now. So that is an item that they are well aware of and they're actively working. So that way it will be able to target component data as well.
Excellent. Thank you very much. As we move on here, you do have your last replace results. Comes up here, we can see that we do have this here. For status, we do have here, we've got our publish and revert here on our more actions button. So if we want to publish this or revert it, this is where you'll go ahead and find those little options right there. Again, you do have your save date and the file here. We do have the version and then how many matches were within this as well. And again, if you did want to go back to your replace summary and copy any of this, you can now go ahead and copy that there. And then the replace link again, just as a reminder, the revert here is down in the more actions button. And then if we go back to our search criteria, when it comes to searching or find and replace, they are down in the bottom left-hand corner now. The recycle bin, we come in here and go to our recycle bin here, we can see not much has changed here, but again, your find, restore, and delete, those items here are under the more actions button. So this is where you can restore something or delete that individual item. Again, you can always come in here as it has been and select multiple items that you might want to go ahead and restore or delete from here as individual items. And then in the top right-hand corner, we do have the red delete all if you did want to go ahead and clear everything else out. We did point up that the setup now is in the top center of the page for our level 10 users. And one of the nice things that they have, nothing really has majorly changed on here, but you do have a site button here now. So if I'm on my current account here and I want to go into my site, I can actually go ahead and click on my site name here, and that will take me directly into my site. So I don't need to go to the site and then open up the site, different things like that. I do have that information where I can go directly from the setup menu into the site itself. Question from Patricia, are we going to get a copy of this presentation? Yes, this will be posted and you'll be notified when it does get posted there. Last thing I want to show you. I'm more of a mouse person that uses the mouse primarily, but I know there's a lot of people that are more comfortable using the keyboard. So if we come in here to setup and I'm looking at my account, I can go ahead and use an individual key to go ahead and toggle through these things. So we do have, if I keep pressing the letter G, it will go ahead and toggle through those. If I change it to the letter T, it'll go ahead and toggle through the letters T. If I use the tab, it'll go ahead and move me across the top here. If I do Shift Tab, it'll go back to our top menu bar and go ahead and shift to the left. So a straight tab will go to the right down your page, and then the Shift tab will go ahead and move to the left down your page. If you are on a page, if I come here to my content pages here, you can also come in here and navigate through the page. So I can use my arrows to navigate through the page here. If I want to make a selection, I can go ahead and press the space bar on my different buttons here. If I wanted to select a couple of checkboxes here, we can go ahead and do that by using the space bar. If I want to go into news, I can just go ahead and highlight news and press enter, and that will go ahead and bring me into that section there. Then I can go ahead and use my tab to go ahead and start moving down my page again. If I do want to go back a page, what I can do is my Alt left arrow, and that will go ahead and take me back up a page from where I was looking. So I can use my arrows to navigate. I can also use that Alt left arrow to go back. And then if I do want to check something out, so if I come in here and I want to go into faculty here, I could select it this way here. I could select it and then come up to the top, come back up here, and then I can publish it. I can delete it, copy, or move. So I do have that ability from here. If I come back down into this section and I want to open that more options, I can go ahead and press enter, and that will go ahead and open up my more options here. If I want to close it, I can just go over it again and press enter again, and that will go ahead and close for me. If I do want to go into a specific page, I can go ahead and press enter on that file name. Maybe I want to come down here and I'm going to go ahead and tab through these here. I want to go into accounting here. I select it and press enter. And then again, I can go ahead and tab through my page and come down to the page that I want to open and go ahead and press enter. And that will go ahead and open that page for me as well. So are the keystrokes based on JAWS keyboard functions? I'm not familiar with that. Barbara, do you know if that's what these are based on?
I'm gonna look into that really quickly.
Okay, and is it returned for Macs? I'm not sure. I haven't worked with this on a Mac yet.
The Mac is returned.
If that is.
Yeah.
It is returned.
Yep.
Okay, great. Okay, any other questions before we wrap up? Yeah.
That last question, the JAWS functionality is the same as the keyboard functionality we have.
Okay, perfect. We've got another question here from Lee. Will any of the OU add-ons, such as the calendar, be getting an update? Calendar, I know they are working for an update. I'm not sure when that's going to be published out there as a new option. Barbara, have you heard where we're standing with that?
So I know there's plans for a big change to our calendar. So I'm not quite sure how that is going to affect existing calendars as they are right now. The v11 refresh is really going to be focusing on anything that exists inside of the OU Campus Administrative Panel. So your add-ons such as OU Insights, emergency alerts, things like that will get a refresh for the visual appearance as well. But that is the focus of our V11, is just inside this administrative panel.
Okay, sounds good. Regarding workflow, I've got a question here from Claire. Regarding workflow, can the page check be required for submitting a file through workflow, similar to how it can be prior to publish? Not that I'm aware of. It still has to be done manually by clicking on those specific items. You can't go ahead and have the workflow set up where it will go ahead and automatically do that as you do get within a publish.
Barbara, I will add the request to our list.
Yeah, yep. that would be a great thing there. When will new calendar be available? We're not sure. Not quite sure exactly where that is time-wise. Right now, the main focus on everything they're working on is within OU Campus for V11 here to get this up and out to everybody. Any improvements that will help reorder multiple components on a page? Barbara, have you heard any thoughts on that?
That's another item that I am also personally tracking. We use a lot of components on our support site, so we use OU Campus to update it. I feel your pain on that one too. It's something that I'm, again, looking at and tracking. I don't have any anticipated dates on that one.
Okay, sounds good. Jen asks, are there any changes to RSS? No, there are not. RSS will still work exactly the same way that it has been working for you. So no changes at this time with RSS. With that, I'll give it just a couple more seconds here if there's any more questions. Otherwise than that, we'll go ahead and talk briefly about giving you the opportunity to learn what next month's Training Tuesday will be. So let me go ahead and switch my screen over here real quick from Let's Take a Look. So next month's Training Tuesday will be held on June 30th. And what they're going to be covering is using social media within OU Campus. Billy, one of our other trainers, Billy Woody, will be doing that presentation. He's been working with our social media and how to use that within OU Campus. So that will be coming up on Tuesday, June 30th. A couple of more questions came in here before we wrap up. How can we enable this new interface for certain users prior to changing it to everyone? Great question. This will be something that will be available where you can go ahead and create it, set it up for our level 10 users, but I don't think there's any way that you can do a group of sub-users with lower level credentials. Is that correct, Barbara, that it's only going to be the level 10 users that will be able to preview it?
Correct. So the level 10 could set it up so they themselves can see it, or you could set it up for your entire population, but there is no way to be able to do individual people.
Okay. Any changes that Corey brought up here? Any changes to the multi-edit user interface? Pretty much the interface will look the same, except for it will be using the new mini WYSIWYG that we have there. So if you have like a text element, and you've got, in our case here, we were looking at our faculty. There was actually, let me go ahead and just bring one up for you here. If we come back into our faculty here and we go into the multi-edit, we can see it's using for our profile bio information here. We are using the new mini WYSIWYG editor here. Will RSS options, this is from Michelle, will RSS options have full content option that isn't resource intensive like existing? Have you heard about any changes for that, Barbara?
There are exciting new changes coming for RSS. So we have, after V11, after all of our resources have been currently dedicated to getting this refresh going, there are all sorts of new exciting things coming with Feed Manager. So keep an eye out for that. That'll be coming later on down the road.
Okay, excellent news. You're going to send out a Sandbox URL to test, right? Actually, it won't be a separate Sandbox URL. You'll still go ahead and have the same site that you're working on, but under setup, there will be a listing within the account settings. I haven't seen exactly where that will be yet, but you'll actually have the option to go in and change that view within the setup, within the administration setup. Should the switchover be per site basis, per account basis, or for the whole skin? Barbara, do you know the details if it's going to be per site or per account?
It is an account level setting, so it will be for the entire account.
Okay, perfect. And then we will have 6 months to launch for everyone after July. Correct. Whenever it does get released, you will have 6 months. They'll leave version 10 up there for 6 months, for an entire 6 months for you there. That's from Lana. And then from Revert, we have, are there any plans to add a quick shortcut menu to jump different sections on multi-edit pages? I'm not quite sure I understand the different sections on multi-edit pages.
Let me throw out a guess here on this one. If you have a whole bunch of multi-edit questions, this list becomes a long list to read through, and you can separate it by section. So it seems like they're almost looking for like a side nav for the multi-edit. It's an interesting idea. Again, not currently included in v11, but I will add it to my list. So that way my our dev team will be able to take a look at it and see if that's something that could be added in a future release.
Okay, good question from Steve here. How will the test environment work for self-hosted people? Will that work exactly the same, or do you have information on that?
So right now we are focusing on the release for our SaaS customers right now. Anytime we do a release, it's released on our SaaS environment first, and then we give it a couple of weeks before it's available for our self-hosted customers, just to make sure that everything is set up appropriately for their instances. So it will work similarly to the way that we have releases going now for self-hosted, where an update will need to be made. It will be a combination of what's required for front end, back end, and things like that. So more details to come after the SaaS release has been completed.
Okay, excellent news. A question here from Lee, is the OU photo editor getting an update? Not at this point. The photo editor is still going to be working exactly the same way that we currently have the photo editor for OU Campus. A question here from Wing, is there any work for Bootstrap or CSS Grid being built in? I'm not really as familiar with Bootstrap as you are, Barbara. Do you have any information on that?
So the Bootstrap and CSS Grid are going to be associated with your particular design. So OU Campus, as it sits right now, is simply a way to edit the design that exists. It does not allow for creating the design. I know that that is something that has been requested from our customers before. I know it is something that has been floated to our dev team. So I will add it to our list to see where that might be in the hierarchy there.
Okay, and then a question here from Bill. Do we know how long the v11 before the v11 will be available for self-hosted?
As a general rule of thumb, we usually wait somewhere around 2 weeks. Because this is a big release, there may need to be a little bit more time, but I don't have anything exact for that.
Okay. Let's see here. Question here from Cody. Will it ever be possible to add in our own logo instead of OU Campus logo or someplace else, and or change windows or change color scheme to match our university colors?
Again, nothing right now in v11, but I'll add it to the list to be able to see if that would be something that could be incorporated for the future.
Okay. Well, that wraps up our training for today. Again, as a reminder, next month's training will be on June 30th, and it will be using social media within OU Campus. So we do have information that you'll see on the OCN and the support site for further details for that. Thank you to Barbara for your input today and being our host. And with that, I'd like to thank everybody who was in attendance today.